Okay, Wayne Toberman, President of IPCC, and I'd like to welcome you to today's February presentation and just say it's good to see everybody. And I hope you weathered the storm, the night, Ramadan, eating okay at night, and making it through the snows and wherever you're at. So, uh, our format today is a little bit different. We're going to be doing an interview this time, and Ehren is going to be the head honcho of the interview process with our guest speaker, Matt, and you can see him on your screen. And he's he's on his third book already, and he's doing quite a bit. He's doing good, and he's he's a future luminary and a force to be reckoned with in the literary world. So uh, I will turn it over to Ehren at this point. I don't really have a lot of announcements to make. It goes back to who all's traveling, who all's not traveling in the month of March, and what they're going to be doing. And if they can write on what they're doing, if they can photograph, it would be highly appreciated to go ahead and 500 words or less, and stills, and even a video instead of the uh, the copy would be much better. So, without further ado, as I always say, I turn it over to Ehren, and I mute out. Here goes.
Thank you so much, President Toberman. Appreciate it. Now mute yourself. No. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the February virtual luncheon. Appreciate you guys taking this time out Saturday. And we have a longtime member who's very accomplished that I have the pleasure of not only introducing, but also the pleasure of having a nice Q&A session. And hopefully we will have your questions at the end. If you do have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, or you can even email me. My email is open. I will put my email address in the chat as well. If you, want to wait to the end, of course, to ask your questions, be much appreciated. Because we have a globetrotter, we have an academic, but most importantly, we have a storyteller. And a storyteller who I had the pleasure of me meeting and being introduced by our president, Wayne Toberman. When Wayne introduced me to Matt, I must admit, I was like, oh my God, I met my kindred spirit. Because he is an amazing, amazing, accomplished young man, because he has many, many things to go forward and accomplish. He's, as Wayne's mentioned, he's actually just published or working on his third book. But we're going to be focusing on the book that I had the pleasure to not only read, but hopefully you guys will have the pleasure of listening to the audio edition of Vankai Tales and understanding the world that Matt has painted. I can go into a lot of background. We're going to do that a little with the Q&A, but I do not want to take anything from Matt because he can definitely tell his story better than I can. But Matt has, as mentioned, been around the world and has seen many things, and he shares his experiences through storytelling like not many that we get to experience. And he paints a beautiful picture of the world, a world that we can get into, a world that you can imagine yourself trotting through, people that you would meet, people that you would want to meet, and you want to explore it with a person like Matt. And for a storyteller, but not only an academic, he's taught English, he's worked with numerous other painters, dramatic arts, and you can see that in his storytelling. You could see that he's pulling from an eclectic world where he works with artists, he works with academics, he works with professionals of different fields and different industries. And we have the pleasure of not only having him as a member, a longtime member, we finally get to meet Matt, because I've always heard of Matt Mert. That's an inside joke from Wayne and I. And he has spoken of this man for many years. And I'm like, when am I ever going to meet Matt? Well, now I thankfully last year got to meet Matt in person, and hopefully all of you guys get to meet Matt in person soon, but we can at least meet him virtually. And I would like to introduce you to Matt Yazar. Thank you, sir. Matthew, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Thank you very much,
You got
Mr.
it, sir.
President.
Well, vice
And
president. I'm not the president yet. Hold on now. Hold
Mr.
on. Don't do that. We're not
Mr.
not taking his
President,
role.
I'm
Not taking his role just yet.
Vice President.
Okay. Matthew, I would start off with just asking a question, but just introduce yourself to the group, and yeah, we can get right into the Q&A.
Definitely. Welcome, everybody. It's a great honor for me to be here with you today. I would like to thank dear Mr. President Wayne Toberman and Vice President Ehren Mohammed for inviting me to this event. Let me tell you about myself. I'm originally from Istanbul and have been part of the IPCC member for almost 10 years. I live between Bodrum and Istanbul most of the year with my family, and I visit Chicago whenever I can. Actually, Chicago means a lot to me. It's where I used to live, where I met my wife, and where my children were born. I have studied business and did my master's in hospitality management. Later, I moved to Chicago for an internship, and while I was here, I helped develop the ideas behind TISA and Academic America. They are my firms, companies. When I returned to Istanbul, I took an active role in launching TISA, which brings together artists and educators to run creative and supportive workshops. I also worked as an English teacher and creative drama instructor, turning some of my writings into drama sessions. I'm here today to share my new book with you. Till now, I have written 3 books. One of them, which is Vankai Tales, has been published and translated into English and released in the US. You can find my books on Amazon, barnesandnobles.com, and BookBaby. It was released as an ebook. It's accessible to readers in many countries. Actually, I'm so excited today to tell you, as of February 28th, 2026, the UK edition of Vankai Tales will meet its readers on platforms such as Waterstones and similar retailers. In here, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to my dear translator, Miss Irmak Bil, and my editor, Eda Bilgin. In November 2025, my second book, Musings by Vankai, Writings That Dance with Words, met its readers in Türkiye. I would like to extend my sincere to the readers, all readers, and for the good feedbacks. My third book, it's on the way. Its name is Kabasakal and the Red Fish with the Magical Gaze. Will be released in May 2026. It has already been translated to English. And my fourth book, hopefully, it's a novel, and I plan to publish the others in 2027. My books are a collection of short stories. Each one stands on its own, but they all touch on nature, people, and universal human experiences. At first, I kept my stories to myself, but in time, I realized that writing is how I make sense of life, and maybe through my stories. By publishing these books, I knew that just as I had traveled through the imaginative worlds of the writers I read, someone else might one day witness my journey through my stories. And thank you so much for listening. I would happy to answer any questions you may have.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute there. All right. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Oh no, of course. No, thank you. First off, once again, share your portions of your story, which we're going to get a lot more into. And that's why I don't want to take the shine away from you, because you could do yourself more justice than I could. So sorry, I was jumping back and forth, but just making sure people are having no technical issues. So to start us off, as Wayne said, this is a slightly different format. I will ask Matt a few questions. We're going to have a nice conversation. But also, if you do have any questions, if you can't raise your hand, you just want to drop it in the chat, it's perfectly fine. We'll make sure to open up the question and answer time for anyone else, because I know as we chat a little bit and go over learning a little bit more about Vanka Tales with Matt's entire journey, more questions will formulate from the group. So feel free to drop them in the chat. And if you have any issues, let me know. Put my email as well as my phone number there. Also, I will keep open the other window just in case if we have any issues of people falling off with the Zoom. So feel free to let me know if you have any issues. All right, Matt, let's get to it. So we're both writers, but now we have to talk. It was a little different, right? We got to use our words as opposed to using our script. What is Vankai? Because I was wondering that when I first read the book. So for those who don't know, and we've shared this link a couple times in our newsletter, Vankai Tales, as soon as it became released on Amazon as well as barnesandnoble.com. It's a collection of stories that Matt has beautifully weaved together. And I mean, you can make a connection. He's not making a direct connection, but you definitely feel every experience. You feel actually some of these people you've actually felt like you've met. I guarantee you've met one of these people in the stories. We'll get a little more into the stories later on. But I would like to understand, I think for the group to understand, what is Vankai? What does that mean to you, Matt?
Actually, Ehren, literally there is no meaning Vankai in the dictionary when you check it out. But they ask me in some places, different platforms, and I like to say Vankai is my personal dream world where fiction and reality come together and where I feel most free while writing. Vanka is my boundless kingdom where imagination has no limits. It's the place where I live with the characters of my stories and express myself through writings. In Vankai, I leave behind the routines of daily life and travel freely in a dreamlike realm where fiction and reality intertwine.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. What inspired that name? What inspired that world?
We have cities in Turkey, and both of them are nice and old cities, actually. One of them, it's the middle of Turkey, Kayseri. And the other part is one is another city. And some of my my ancestors, from that land. And one day I thought about what should be a name of my book. And okay, it's one side was Kayseri is Kai, and other city was Van, and I combined together, make it Van Kai. Hopefully, if you come to Turkey one day, we would love to visit.
All right. You just invited a bunch of people, right? You invited like 8 people. So if we don't have a hotel, we're gonna stay at your spot. We are gonna crash on your couch. You gotta host a lot of people, man. Just let you know. We all eat very good. We like to eat. I can't eat right now.
Always welcome. You're always welcome.
Well, thank you, sir. What does writing mean to you? What does that mean?
Writing, it's not only a form of expression for me. It's the most sincere way of making sense of life and sharing with others. I aim to reach great human truths through small everyday moments, connecting personal experiences with social realities.
Social realities. So, and just for those who haven't read the books or haven't read the book, I'm sorry, Vanka Tales. That's just that triggered when you said social realities. It reminds me of some of the stories in there where you mentioned how you've connected some dots from real, even examples of real celebrities, from your heritage and your country to, weaving them in a fictional world, but put them in your stories as well. And that goes into kind of what we experience or what we've read from other authors, where they take pieces of what's going on in reality, what's going on in the real world, what's going on around them. How do you view being an author? How do you view authorship? What does that represent for you?
Um, One path to authorship is the ability to touch the reader's soul in every line, if it's possible, every page. Writing is not merely words, it's a state of being. It's woven with thoughts, intuition, and feelings like comets trailing from past to the future.
How would you describe your writing style?
I value conveying strong emotions with few words.
Okay.
I aim for concise yet deep text that respect the reader's attention span. I try to create a voice that transcends time and space, sometimes traveling to distant lands, sometimes to the inner world.
Sorry about that. No, sorry, I was looking to the side. But because we've got a couple people who were trying to get in, so we may have a few more join in the next few moments. Just a heads up. So if you do have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I'm collecting them off to the side as well. Um, so and thank you, Matt, for kind of going into your writing style and getting us an understanding of how you approach preparing your works. I wonder, because you brought up you've started two organizations, you have a course of more professional business, and we all know how the business world and the creative world can often conflict because it doesn't allow you to really be creative as much as you want in some cases. I would love to know, like, what was your turning point in your career? What was the time where you said, okay, this is hospitality, this is this more professional world, if you will. When did you make that decision, or what was that turning point to become or focus more on the creative side of things and to focus on writing?
The most significant turning point in my career came after graduate school, when I suddenly decided to move to America. For the first time, I stepped beyond my comfort zone into an entirely foreign culture. Moving to Chicago expanded my horizons and gave me an unforgettable experience. Shortly after, I began my internship and a new life abroad. Every change I faced transformed me in profound ways. On the other hand, the teaching was another transformative journey. It taught me discipline, research skills, structure working, and time management. When motivation is aligned, pursuing goals becomes easier and life more meaningful. Later, I discovered creative drama, a brand new discipline for me. I feel myself so lucky because I met really nice, talented instructors in my drama school. It helped me explore unexpected emotions and develop creative thinking within a safe environment. It brought back my writing habits, enriched my perspective, and fostered multidimensional thinking. Years later, I returned to school and to writing through workshops with my beloved professor, Mario Levi, at Yeditepe University. When I think of multidimensional thinking, I think of approaching an issue not from a single window, but through its historical, psychological, cultural, and ethical layers together. Looking not only at what something is, but also what it is, what it means for different people, and in what context it emerges. Moving beyond black and white oppositions and being able to see the gray areas. At the same time, considering both the individual and the collective level, both emotion and reason, both the present and the past. In short, accepting the truth doesn't have only one face of being able to hold multiple perspectives at once.
So where do you draw inspiration from? If you don't mind me asking, sorry to jump in and sorry to interrupt, but where do you draw inspiration from?
I love nature, especially I love Bodrum now. I'm living in a nature. But I blend, but as I told you, my ancestors, one of them from Kayseri, other one's on one. I blend the roots of the land where I was born and raised with experiences I gained through different cultures. This interaction made me realize how limitless the world is, and it became one of the main forces reflected in my writing.
And I've because I've never been to Turkey, I'm not sure how many of our members have been to Turkey, different cities and different areas. Could you describe because you mentioned you merged kind of Van and Kai. Can you describe
Kayseri.
those two cities? Yeah, can you describe those two places?
To describe these two different
Yeah,
places.
yeah, those two places, Van and Kai City.
Actually, I can tell you, it's in Turkey. We have we're being like 7 different regions,
Mm-hmm.
and when you go and visit all that parts,
Mm-hmm.
totally we have a different kinds of atmosphere. The culture is different. The food, even for food, is different.
Mm-hmm. Like how?
We have different habits.
Yeah. How's the food different? Because I've never, like I said, never been there. I'd love to know, especially
For
because I know that
example, now
kind of
I'm
was
living in
experienced your food.
Bodrum. Bodrum is totally different. We are less
Okay.
close to Greek culture, the
Oh,
Mediterranean
okay.
culture. But one, it's I'm not gonna call the aggressive, uh,
Okay.
but it's more
Okay.
masculine. I can tell you,
Mhm.
the east of Turkey,
Mhm.
because of the weather and the
You're not
people
afraid of them, are you?
and large families. They are living together like a clan.
Oh,
Like one family has like 500 or 600 members.
oh wow.
Uh,
That's
and they
that's
are
a heck of a
connected
birthday.
to each other, in a very so tight, very strong bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And Kayseri, when you go to Kayseri, we have some jokes. They're intelligent and they like tradings.
okay.
They are traders. They said if someone, who is not so successful at school, if someone is not so successful in as a trader, you should
Yeah.
send him to school. They have kind of expression.
You know what? I respect that. I respect that. If they're not very successful straight, yeah, just go to school. Just go. You need a teacher. Go to school. Don't worry about it.
But on the other hand, my father's side,
Uh-huh.
it's from Selanik, totally different, the west
Okay.
side
Okay.
of Turkey. And we have been living in Istanbul almost like 4 generations. I grew up in Istanbul.
Okay. Good. Okay. The big city, if I'm not mistaken, right? The biggest city. So you're used to big cities. So when you came to Chicago, that it wasn't too much of a culture shock, right? Because I know we're a crazy big city ourselves, but you're used to a busier city, probably.
Actually, Istanbul and New York, they are like
Yeah.
sister cities.
I mean, oh,
It's,
really? Okay.
yeah, like Seoul and
Oh,
makes
like
melting pot.
yeah. You said like Seoul, South Korea, or just like the soul of it? I just want
The
to make sure. Oh,
Seoul.
okay, the soul of it. Okay, gotcha.
So
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
Chicago is calmer, and what I like in Chicago actually is diversity as well,
Yes.
and lots of immigrants
Mm-hmm.
in Chicago. And
We.
I'm a part of is
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. You were saying.
is my American friends. They ask me, as a writer, can you describe us, Istanbul? How do
Uh-huh.
you feel in Istanbul? I can say Istanbul. Okay, when you compare Chicago and Istanbul, Chicago
Uh-huh.
is um, like a healthy food, okay?
Okay.
Like a steamed broccoli, steamed broccoli. But it sounds
Really?
like a spicy food, It's
You
tuna,
must have
like
never had deep
spicy
dish.
kebabs.
Did you not have like Giordano's or nothing like that? There's no healthy food in Chicago, bro. That's what we do. We do not do healthy.
Mr. Toberman, he was in Istanbul it's a couple times. He
Okay.
visited and he has an experience about the city. And it's too crowded and
It's
it's
okay.
crazy, unpredictable, but
Unpredictable.
and
Unpredictable.
historical, very ancient. Yes, very ancient
Gotcha.
city.
Well, I just have never. Well, yeah, like I said, never experienced. I'm glad you got us an opportunity to kind of get an understanding of what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, what inspired some of your writing, and the kind of behind it. And that gets me to ask you. I want to understand a little bit more, and I know the group probably does too. Your publishing journey, because a lot of people, they go through major publications, or they go through publishing houses, or they self-publish. How did your publishing journey? How did your journey as a publisher or as an author, if you will, to get into publishing? How did that begin? Like, what was it like?
For a long time, I kept my writings to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Then I changed my mind. I put aside all the ifs and regrets and focus on what I truly wanted to do. Because writing for me was a remedy against disappearance. After the positive feedback I received from my first book, this new work naturally came into being. But it was not so easy, as I told you, because first of all, it was difficult to find a right publisher. Uh, Even my friends, my instructors, the professors, they wouldn't recommend me. You should directly go and to work with this company. And but I tried,
Yeah.
and as a self-publisher,
Okay.
I got a risk.
Okay.
Then thanks them now, it's good now. We are working very well with Ot yayınları. It's in Turkey
Okay.
as a self-publisher.
Okay.
Then I talked to Mr. Wayne Toberman.
Mhm.
We have known each other more than 10 years, and he said, "Hey,
Oh,
Mert, why don't you wanna release this book in US, in abroad?"
Mhm.
And this idea was wonderful, and I was pretty excited about it. Then suddenly I decided to translate my book to English. And right away, in last summer, I was in Chicago.
Mhm.
I stayed for 3 months, and we have completed the project and released Wankai Tales in 2025, October.
So this is just to clarify. So this is entirely self-published, right? This
Yes,
book. Wow. What what has that journey been like, self-publishing? Because self-publishing is very different than going through I mean, it's completely different routes. What has been your experience with self-publishing?
self-publishing. It's one part. It's good because if I send it to my files to the well-known publishers, probably I could wait for a long time. Even my professors, they said that it's each week 500 candidates, they send their files and they are pretty busy and probably they won't have time, or that's why it was a little bit challenge for me. But on the job training, I'm learning on the way.
mm,
Now I work with Ingram and BookBaby, and it's a really good chance. I can share my book with the rest of the world.
So with Ingram, your book is because you said your book is available in America, of course, available in Turkey. Is it available in any other countries?
Definitely in Amazon, even in
Okay.
Korea,
Okay. Oh,
Australia.
Okay.
I really get good feedback from the readers, and and
Hold on, hold
hopefully
on, wait, Matt. You said you get good feedback from Korea,
Korea.
South Korea?
from the readers from it's an interesting guess. They
Yeah.
told me that why don't you translate to Korean language? Because
Mm.
now in Turkey, the Korean television series and the books are so popular,
Okay.
and we didn't know that the Koreans they like to read Turkish readers as well, and there's a huge potential readers, and my
Really?
professors
Mm.
they
So
insist.
so Matt, look, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I have a picture in my head, and this is probably showing my age too. I have a picture in my head of K-pop demon hunters holding an issue or having a copy of Von Tales. So, so this is
With the
really cool.
hobbits mixed in.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yes.
amazing. So you're getting feedback from South Korea. You're getting feedback from Australia. So
Yes.
I mean, when I said a globetrotter, I'm man, I understated you. Sorry about that, buddy.
And such a coincidence, like I would like to share my story. A month ago, uh, we have a really famous and successful writer and a musician in Turkey, Mr. Livaneli. And I had a chance to meet with him. There was a concert for him. He was a guest. At the end of the concert, uh, I gave to my book. I had a chance to him. Normally, people like to bring his book and get a sign from him. And later, he got my book. And a couple days later, somebody called me, and I didn't know it's like unknown numbers. And he said, "Hey, Mert, how are you?" I said, "Good, sir." He said, "I am Livaneli, and I read your book." And and he shared his the positive feedbacks with me. It's so valuable for me because he's the best and one of the long seller in Turkey. Uh, and his last book was translated to English as well, Serenat. Uh, when I see the masters in this area,
Yeah.
the writers, they said, "Okay, Matt, keep going."
Uh-huh.
Uh, it's a really good uh, feeling.
Yeah.
I can tell myself, I think I'm doing something right.
You're definitely doing something right. If you needed more signs than that, I don't know, man. You're definitely doing something right. And well, first off, for those who may not know, so Matt brought this up a little earlier, um, in other conversations. So I'm working on a book, but I must admit, Matt is a great inspiration for anybody who wants to write. Matt is a great inspiration. Any writer is a great inspiration, but to meet someone who's done that's why I wanted to ask about self-publishing and self-publishing, for anybody who is working on a book. It's a tough road, but every time I hear from an author, and it's great to meet, an author who clearly is getting great feedback from others as well. That it's, take the opportunity and just do it. And look, clearly he's getting and once again, if you guys haven't read the book, I'll make sure there's a link for the book, not only in the chat, I'll drop it in soon, but also we'll put it in the email afterwards and also links to the video because grab a copy of Anke Tales. It's a beautiful book. We'll get more into the themes of the book in a second, but um, just take the opportunity. And then, like I said, if you're working on anything, it's great inspiration of what you can do if you really put your time and effort into your creativity. So it's worth that feedback, worthy of the feedback, of course. And I'll finish up with a few other questions, and I'll take the questions from the group. I did want to know. Let's just get more a little specifically into Von Tales. What are the themes of the book? What are the strong themes of the book? Share that with the group.
The which
Von Tales.
about one kite.
Yeah.
I hope each story becomes a door to the reader's inner journey. Sometimes nostalgic, sometimes questioning, sometimes hopeful. I believe the emotional depths beyond the words will be felt and recognized by the reader. I can tell you which themes and emotions stand out this book. Human existence, life, and memory are central. The text invites the reader to awareness and reflection. The chosen words and concepts are lasting. They touch the inner world. Themes such as identity, culture, belonging, nostalgia, uncertainty, transformation, longing, loneliness, adventure, regret, arrogance, and possibility appear throughout, written in a sincere tone, woven with imagination.
What is
That I can try to summarize.
no, that's okay. That's okay. Because I wanted to know, explain, because for those who don't know, explain what is Von Tales. Like, what is the book?
What is the book?
Yeah.
I have
Because I mentioned
21
like a summary, but I'd
like
like to hear from you.
I have 21 different stories in this book, and which is written in different the places around the world, and some of them it's in Turkey. Like I have some stories in Istanbul, in Bodrum. I have one story about Chicago. Two of them, I was in London, about the London. Uh, like actually, you read the book, and we would love to make an audiobook with Ehren. People like the stories. Each of them is different, not so long, but all of them, it's about the life. That's why my professors, they supported me, and they supported, they said, your stories are universal stories, man. And they said, I don't know exactly what, they got the taste of Chekhov stories, Anton Chekhov's.
Okay. So two things, well, a couple things, because so you mentioned I read the book a few times. Of course, I read the book. Oh well, I shouldn't say of course, because for those of us that don't know in the group, so Matt, while he was here in Chicago, uh, based on the suggestion, is always coming back to this guy, this Wayne Toberman guy. We got, maybe he should be elected president of the group. Just saying. Um, he suggested, maybe you should use Aaron's voice because Aaron does, Aaron has a very nice voice, which I thank you. I do midnight jazz for everybody who doesn't know. No joke. Um, I really should. I used to like that radio show. But Wayne mentioned that it could be an opportunity to work with Matt to be the voice for his audiobook, which Matt was so kind to ask me and work with me here, kind of working with me to understand a little bit more about the book. And we went to a recording studio, and we tried to get everything together there. We started off everything, but we're going to finish it up. Hopefully in Turkey, we'll finish off everything, and we'll have that audiobook fully prepared for you. But gratefully, I will be the voice, and I'll be very honored once again to be the voice of Von Tales in English. I will not try the Turkish. I'm sorry. I respect the language too much. I'm not that good yet. So any words that I do butcher right now, please forgive me. Please correct me. But it was an honor, Matt, once again to work with you on that. But go ahead. You were going to say something.
And it was an honor for me, Ehren. Thank you very much.
Of course, no, of course. And
by the way, Eda Bilgin is my editor, and now she's going to be the voice of Vankay Tales, Vankay Öyküleri in Türkiye. Now we have a project. We are going to work with Disabled People Association.
Okay.
And for Görmeden Gelen istiyorsun, blind. For the blind people.
Oh, to make it fully accessible.
Full access.
Yes,
people,
beautiful.
they can listen the Turkish version of Vankay Tales.
Absolutely beautiful, and that's proper. That's the best way to do it.
This project, it's on Boğaziçi University, in Bosphorus University.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they're the ones actually doing that
special
work.
Center.
Okay.
It's kind of like a volunteer project.
Oh wow. Do you have a published date for that one, for that version, or no?
No.
No. Okay. Just wondered. Just wondered. Okay. So
It's going to be
you got to keep us updated.
special for them.
Yeah, got to keep us updated. Well, we have members who, for let's just be respectful of all of our members because we do have members who have, there's some opportunities there to where we can share that version with them, and I know they will probably appreciate it as well. And we also have connections with, different groups and associations, organizations here in Chicago. But I wanted to get to a couple things about Vanka Tales for those who haven't read it. So, to Matt's point, and then we'll get into the questions because we got a couple questions in the chat. So to Matt's point, you can relate it to your life experiences in the past, things that you're going on right now, or maybe even your imagination, things that you wanted to experience. And I will share one of the story. Well, I'm not going to go too much into the story because I don't want to give away the story. They got to pay for that, Matt. We got to make sure they pay. But what I will do is there's one story about a young man on a beach. And I'm bringing up that story because being a young person, courage, depending upon a language barrier can be one thing, of course, but it's important to just have courage to live your life. And I really appreciate Matt's courage. And every time I think about that story specifically, I want you guys to go into the book and you'll find the story. But you think about the courage it takes to go to a new world, the courage it takes to go to a place where you don't speak the same language, and the courage it takes to pursue your passion, pursue your dream. Every one of us are professionals in this, in this group, whether we're journalists, professionals, press professionals, or academic or professional in our own industries. It takes courage to get up and go to work every day, but to do something new. And the story about this young person and how he wanted to approach people and kind of ingratiate himself, and he couldn't do it. And then when he saw someone else take that step, when he saw someone else approach a kind of an unexpected, situation and succeed, he was inspired. He was puzzled, he was confused, but he was also inspired. And the reason why I bring that up is just everything that we do as this group in the International Press Club of Chicago. Let's keep inspiring each other. Matt has inspired me, and he's definitely motivated me, but I'm really, once again, honored to know him. And I hope we all continue to inspire each other as we have many things that are coming towards the journalist world, as we know, and the press world is tough right now, and the professional world is tough right now. But let's continue to keep inspiring and encouraging each other. And I hope you all grab a copy. I don't want to hold up the time, but grab a copy of Vanka Tales because it is a beautiful book that I think will inspire us all, whether, once again, it's creative or professional, whatever our journey is. And I really think you'll pull a lot from that book. And who knows, maybe you guys can write the next great book that we'll be talking about as a member of the International Press Club of Chicago. So, Matt, I have a few questions for you from the group. I'm going to, pull them up here. Like I said, I didn't want to hold up all the time. And anybody, if you guys do have a question, I'll just open it up. But I just want to go to the questions that are in the chat and question via email. So that way, I'll open it up to you guys right after I get to these questions because I don't want to hold them up. So first off, we had a question from Bill Dewsbury. Yeah, Bill. So Bill had a question, reader feedback. Will the reader feedback lead to subsequent editions of the book? So additional editions of the book. Will that reader feedback that you've been getting?
Could you repeat it?
Yes.
Ehren? Thank you.
Reader feedback. So the reader feedback that you've been getting.
Yeah. And
hopefully you get a lot more, as you grow, because you're just now starting to share the book. Will that lead to subsequent editions of the book?
Did you? You mean my of course, the readers' opinions are so valuable for me. It's very important. But on the other hand, we were talking about that subject with my professor a couple days ago, and he said, "Hey, Matt, what I really like, what you do, you decide to write something and you do it, and you have a style, your style, writing style, and you know what you like, what to do. Of course, I get some feedbacks, and if it inspires me, then it's very helpful. But on the other hand, if it's not positive, or how am I gonna say, there is no right or wrong.
Okay.
We
shall see.
I'm in the.
That's the marketing way of saying it. We shall see. Remember, I'm a marketer. We shall see. we shall see. We shall see.
Exactly. Right. We shall see.
But that's actually a really and it reminds me. I'm going to throw you something here. It reminds me of an author, and I will share that author with the group, and I cannot think of the name of the book at the moment. But she kind of went through similar, where she got a lot of feedback for the first edition, and I believe it was not her second, but her third edition of the book. It wasn't. She didn't change the story per se. She included a forward from another author who brought up kind of the, not necessarily the position, but the vision, which surprisingly explained a lot of the things that some readers didn't understand about the book. It's interesting when you get one author to explain and talk about another author. So I would suggest, think about authors who include forwards from editors, or not the editor of their book, but editors who reviewed their book, forwards from, of course, a fan, an accomplished fan in a similar industry, but another author as well, as opposed to changing the book, a forward. Or, maybe you make an unabridged version where you let a little bit more out, and maybe some people didn't grasp all of the stories. Just other ideas from reading people over the years, other opportunities there. And once again, that's also just to the group in general. And I'll share the book I'm speaking of later on. I don't want to divert anything from this, but there's another question in the chat, and thank you. I'm going to get to the email question in a second, but there's another question in the chat from Bill. Okay. This is a good question. This is why I was asking to explain a little bit more about the book. Matt, and I want to make sure, Bill, if I'm not saying your question correctly, I'm just going based on the way it's typed. Are you a constant character, or is there a constant character throughout the book, or does the book follow different characters in different scenarios?
Each story, I have different characters and different events. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So why don't you?
But this is an interesting thing. Just give a hint.
Yeah, sure.
If you read it carefully for each stories, and even for I refer, some I give some information or resembles between different books.
Okay.
But if you read it carefully,
I would ask.
Yes, their values is the same, but each of them are different.
Okay.
They are different.
So for us, once again, for those who haven't read the book, could you do an example of two sides? So could you tell us, not tell us the story, but give us an example of who we're following or what's going on in one story, and how it's different from what's going on or who we're following in another story in your book.
For example, like one of in my story, it's about in America, in Chicago. It's one guy's the experiences as an immigrant, but in some parts, it's about where he comes from, Turkey, about his family. I give some information. In the second book, I have a totally different story, but the names resemble. If you are so careful, you can make a connection with. I can, for example, do you want, I can give you an example, some of my stories, like.
Of course, that's what we're here
for. Like in one story, the stories portray vivid emotional scenes in one story, amid the fast pace of daily life, everyday life, a person bends down at a pier by the sea to save a wounded baby bird. For example, this moment symbolizes human kindness. The reader becomes a part of the scene through the magic of writing. For example, my other stories, it was in Surbiton Station in London. It's about one homeless guy. He was standing by himself and screaming. At first, I wouldn't understand what's going on. Did he use, any drugs or something? And later on, two gentlemen came softly and came and sit next to him and shared his food with him. And that treatment and his treatment and compassion was so like heart touching in that time. That person's like 180%, so suddenly he changed. His mood has changed.
Mhm.
And then I saw a gentleman. He says, "Oh, thank you. We are family." And it was a really big slap for me in that time, and I have still big hopes about the life, especially and humankind
Mhm.
at this days.
That's good. Good insight to kind of the not the different viewpoints are taken in the book and the different what we'll be examining or who we'll be examining, maybe even examining ourselves in the book. So I appreciate you sharing that. And Bill said that was good. That answered his question. Once again, you'll really grasp that if you read the book, and you'll see it from different perspectives, and you follow different characters or different characters within yourself. And the final question I have is from email. This is from Nisa. I think so. Yeah, Nisa. Nisa emailed, who did register, but I guess they were not able to join. They just wanted. Oh, nice simple question too. Who inspired you? Like what authors inspired you specifically? I'm sorry, Nisa. Well, you're not here.
What authors?
What authors, inspired you?
I like, of course, Anton Chekhov, Mark Twain, Ernest Hemingway.
Could definitely see that in the writing. When you guys read Vanka Tales, if you ever read any Hemingway,
I've read all his books. And by the way, in Turkish authors as well, like Said Faik Abasıyanek. Said Faik is a very well-known and talented short story teller.
Mm-hmm.
He used to live like 19, he was so famous, like 1950s.
1950s. Okay.
At that area. And hopefully next month I'm going to join a competition.
Oh, really?
Said Faik short story competition.
Okay.
They accepted one of my story.
Okay. Did they accept something from Vankai Tales, or is this another story they accepted?
Actually, I wanted to apply with Vankai Tales, but I published the book in 2024 December. But according to the competition rules, it needs to be 2025. That's why I decided to join the competition with my second book.
Okay. And the second book, just to clarify, the second book has only been published in Turkish, correct? It's not published in English yet?
Yeah, not yet, yes.
Not yet. Okay. Just wanted to be sure. All right. Okay. Well, with that, I'll make sure to open it up since we have a nice group here. Any questions from the group? I'll go around. Oh, go ahead, Wayne. Go right ahead, sir. You're on mute, Wayne. You're on mute.
Unmute. Okay. I have two questions. Matt, is there in book number 2 and book number 3, is there a continuation of Vankai Tales, or is it cut off for each book? Is it different? Is it different characters, different storylines, or is there a common thread through all the books?
They are totally different. Each of them is different. And
Okay.
I have a challenge. Like try to write different styles and different themes. That's why they are totally different. The
Okay.
second one and the third one.
Second question. What's your workflow look like? I mean, do you get up in the morning and you write for an hour and have breakfast, or do you wait 3 days, come up with an idea? Or can you shed some light on that?
Like I have a routine, like daily life routine for reading. Like every day, like from 9 to 11 or till 12, I'm reading different books at the same time.
Okay.
But and sometimes, generally, I like to spend my time at the seaside. There's a really nice bay, small bay with
Mhm.
rocks, and my neighbors they call me Robinson. I got my chair, my books, and with my coffee,
The
with
hat?
myself, and the hat.
Yes.
I'm looking at Kos Island right away from
Oh,
Bodrum. And in that time, if it's something that inspires me, about the book, what I read, or in that time, I like to write. I like to take notes, and then I start to write that as a story. For example, listen, like sometimes I close myself and couple days I don't go out. Even while I'm sleeping, if it's uh, something is eating me, and the middle of the night, I just got up and turn on my computer and sit in front of the computer and
a
write.
3 a.m. author. Yes.
And I'm living with the characters as well. It's a little bit difficult maybe for my family, but they asked me, who's your best friends? And I said, dead people they are my best friends. And like I can say, I was in with Dostoevsky a couple days ago, for example.
But wake up and
Uh,
have breakfast with us. No, Wayne, was that your final question? Just want to be sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. No, great questions. And thanks for clarifying actually how we can experience, the different works that you have there.
and by the
Go
way,
ahead.
Ehren, my sister, she's a painter artist. She's
Yes.
Canadian American, Turkish, and she did the cover page. These are from her
Okay.
paintings. I can show
Now
you.
that's a different cover from. Do you have different covers for Von Tales?
This is different colors of Vanka Tales in Turkey. We published
Okay.
this book in
Okay.
Turkey for
Okay.
Turkish readers. It's the
Okay.
English version. And this is the second book,
Okay.
Musings of Vanka. And this is the first edition.
That's it. Okay. Because the one when we see it online, this is the one we see. That's
This
the
one.
yeah. Okay. I just wanted to clear. So, and she did both paintings? She did all the paintings?
She did all of
Beautiful.
them.
Make sure we have our contact information. Maybe we want to get our covers made too, man. Come on. Share the
Pelin
wealth.
Yazar. Yeah. Her name is
Share the wealth.
Pelin Yazar.
All right. Let me make sure I go around the room. Bill Dewsbury, did you have another question, sir?
I do.
Go ahead, sir.
Matt, could you give us some of the mechanics of how you go through actually getting a book self-published?
I don't know.
What does it
What-
take to get a book self-published?
How is my self-publishing adventure?
So real quick, I'll go a little bit deeper with that. And that's a great question, Bill. Actually, that's a really good point. What are the steps, or what was the process for self-publishing? Bill, is that good?
That's good.
Yep. Okay. What was the steps, or what
In,
was your process to go through the self-publishing process?
in
Matt?
Turkey or in America?
America.
In America was a little bit difficult. I had a chance to deal with couple different publishers, and some of them were scam.
Okay.
Like they used the name of Barnes and Nobles. In the last second, I recognized that they are not real. And in some parts, they're budgeting. And some of them, they want to use this as an opportunist, some. It takes a time, to find a right the publisher as a self-publishing. That's why Book Baby was good. And I did, the most of the thing through the internet by myself.
Okay.
Especially for the editing part. That's why I decided to making the editing parts and the translation and the editing parts in Turkey when my file is ready, and now with as a professional way, then I like to share my document with Ingram.
So question for you, Matt, because you just said their name too. Because you brought up scam, and that's a good point. What made you select Book Baby instead of some of the other companies you went with? What stood out? Because that could help us with the process as well. What made you select Book Baby?
The budget. The first one was budget.
Okay.
And the second thing, I really wanted to be on the internet sites.
Okay.
And
mean like Amazon?
And the agents were so helpful.
Okay.
And by the way, after I keep in touch with them, then we published our book. A month later, I saw my book in different platforms.
Okay.
On the different platforms, even in Barnes and Nobles.
Quick question about that. And I think this actually goes, and this may help you with even deeper with your question, Bill. Did you work with somebody directly at Book Baby? Like, did you speak to somebody, or was it just you working online by yourself on their website?
No, I had an agent. They helped me a lot.
That's helpful. Okay.
But you should make, the whole details by yourself.
Okay.
Because the editing part, it takes a time.
Yeah.
They said, okay, Matt, for example, it's all about the format part was difficult for me because it takes time and the cover page and etc. That's why now I'm working in Turkey to design my book. At the same time, I publish my book, the English version, in Turkey and US or UK at the same time, but with different cover pages.
Sorry, making sure I'm not missing a question here. Okay. I'm sorry, Bill, does that answer your question? Just want to make sure.
In part.
Okay.
Matt, how do you do marketing of the thing? Because my impression of self-publishing is that you work with a company and order a print run of X number of copies, and then somebody sells them for you. How does that work?
They don't sell it for you.
No,
They don't sell it for you.
they don't sell it for me.
You have to
Actually,
do it
I have a web. I use their web page. It's on my name.
reklamını kendin yap.
I have to, to make my advertisement by myself because they offer different packages. It's changeable, from $1,000 to
10,000.
10,000.
If you pick 10,000, they do the advertisement.
So
If I choose like $10,000 package, in that time they do the advertisements by themselves.
So, and I just want to, I know, thanks, Matt, for going a little deeper about how it is with Book Baby. and to build anyone else interested in self-publishing. So, and not trying to take over the interview, of course, but I've worked with a few other authors and who've done the self-publishing route, and I've done specifically the digital marketing for them in their books. So to your point, Bill, there are a couple routes you can take. There's some companies that, to Matt's example, you can pay them and they will do a little bit more in the assistance of like getting you the copies and things of that nature. But then there are other book self-publishing companies that will work with you in doing what's called print on demand, where they do make sure that you're distributed to different online stores, but the person, in other words, the customer, has to order a copy from that online store, and a copy will be printed specifically based on that order. So some people, what they do is they buy a bunch of copies of their own books and then do their own kind of footwork and market that themselves. And others, they rely completely on that print on demand, and they push it, which is where I've worked with authors to do it virtually. So we'll run their advertisements, we'll do a press release, we'll do newsletters, things of that nature. And they'll push it out to customers to get print on demand orders. And then if there's a final way of normally with self-publishing, which is if you do work with a distributor that will pay for your book to be in a very small subset of stores, very small, those copies will be made up, but they will recoup from the royalty. So it depends. It really depends on, to Matt brought it up perfectly. He started off budget. It really comes down to budget and what kind of work you're willing to put in for yourself. So it really comes down to what time and energy you have and the budget that you have, from my experience working with published authors and from what Matt just shared. Hope that answers your question from between Matt and myself.
Yeah, I think so, mostly. In other words, if the final end product, it's either a soft copy or a hard copy getting into the hands of a reader, correct? Is that how it?
Yes.
In Matt's case, for sure. Yep. It's a soft copy. He is a soft paperback. Yep. Yeah. And always keep in mind that hard copy is a lot more expensive than those paperbacks. Always a lot more.
Oh yeah, but the capability exists to, have a copy printed, bound, whatever happens to it, and put in an envelope and ship to somebody.
Yeah.
On that question, Matt, Waterstone, that is the preeminent store in the UK. How, in continuation of Bill's question, how did you get placed with them? I mean, they're extremely selective.
Actually, I had a chance because of Ingram. I have learned that because when I've published the first time in US, yes, my book was in Barnes and Nobles, but it wasn't in Waterstones. And later I decided to publish the book with a different ISBN in UK. And when I see that, it's in the online catalog of Waterstones, I was pretty excited and happy. And maybe, they, I don't know exactly to their criterias, but in different platforms like Goodreads, I saw my book in Goodreads platform as well. Exactly, I don't know how did they accept?
But how did you get to those platforms? How did your book make its way to those platforms? From your hand to theirs?
Through research. Actually, and I showed, I did the research a lot, and at first, the people told me that, why do you do that? Why do you want to publish your book in UK in a different with a different cover page? But later I saw that the Gardeners, they're one of the best distributor They work with Ingram.
Mhm.
I
Then
keep writing
and then I kept writing with them back and forth
forth.
by email, and they said if you want to your book have to be in Waterstones, you should work with gardeners, and the best way is using Ingram platform.
Mhm.
But I spent lots of time and the efforts, like back and forth. It takes time and patience,
Mhm.
but hopefully next week
Hopefully next week. What's coming up next week?
we can order the new version,
Okay. So
not
wait,
edition.
you said what's happening next week? I just want to be sure. What's happening next week?
In Waterstones, in UK version of my book, it's going to be on the market.
Okay. So at Waterstone's online store, it'll be there next week.
It's like print on demand.
Okay, so they'll have print on demand. Okay. All right. Perfect. So, and that's why I was sharing the link. So it's at Amazon right now. For those who don't know about Goodreads, I'm not sure if everyone knows what Goodreads is. So Goodreads is owned by Amazon, but it's basically the number one review platform for books, and you can order books through them. So technically, ordering a book through Goodreads is ordering a book through Amazon. But a lot of people, who read books online or read books in, hard copy, it's a good app to have to review books. And Matt's book is there. Matt's on Amazon.com. He's on Barnes and Noble. And like you said, next week we'll be able to, for those of us in the UK or London, we'll be able to order from Waterson's as well. So Matt's all over the world. That's awesome. Matt is definitely all over the world. All right. Bill Ryan, I see we still got you on the line. We got a couple more people. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Did you have any questions, Bill Ryan? Good. All right. Thank you, sir. And I see we still. Oh, looks like we lost John Chenier. Let's see. I know we got one other person. Oh, Ada or Eda. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Sorry. Eda. Did you have any questions? Oh, you're on mute. Yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, I am listening to carefully, but I can't speak English very well, but I can understand everything.
Okay.
Thank you so much. They invited to me.
Of course.
Actually, I'm the editor of Mathew, the second book.
Okay.
Belki burada birazcık translate'de bana yardım edebilirsin Mert.
Definitely, I can
Yeah,
help you for
please.
translation.
Thank you.
Please help me. Çok teşekkür ettim zaten ama yani hikayelerin samimiyeti konusu, bir de biraz önce bir soru gelmişti. Ben bir tek ona bir cevap vermek istiyorum
She
aslında.
said the stories were so frankly.
Evet, şöyle benim için yazar zaten yazar. Çünkü başka hiçbir seçeneği yoktur.
For me,
Author is an author.
the
Yani
author
There's no other option.
needs to be an author. He shouldn't have other option.
yeah.
If you are an author,
If you're an author,
you must write.
you must write. There is no choice.
I completely agree with that. I 100% wholeheartedly agree with that. Now, quick question. So Eda is editing your second book, right? Or your third book?
Yes, she did. The second
Beautiful.
book.
Beautiful. All right. So that means we're waiting for that one now.
He lives in Bodrum.
You
She
gotta
lives
get
in
into
Bodrum
English.
as well.
We got. Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So she
You'll
can
meet her. once
You
tap
meet
you on the
her.
shoulder to tell you fix
Yeah,
this, fix this.
Actually, I'm editor of Mathew, but he's my brother. Like, yeah.
Okay.
She's like my
Yeah,
sister. Yes,
the best
definitely.
friend. Yeah.
Okay. I'm about to say, man, because working with family sometimes can be tough.
It was a long and rough journey for us. In that time, I was in America. She was in Turkey. We had, the different
Ooh.
hours,
Yeah.
but we had to complete the book, like back and forth.
Yeah.
But it was a nice journey. At the end of that, when we have the book, we were so happy, both of us. And when you come to Bodrum, definitely you will meet with her.
Okay, you invited everybody again.
And
man.
Eda, and
So
Eda
you
has
know.
a beautiful voice. And Eda has a beautiful voice, and she's going to be the narrator of Vankai Tales
In Turkish.
in
in
Turkish.
Turkish.
In Turkish.
Turkish.
Fantastic. Well, I hope people don't expect my face when they're hearing her voice, or vice versa. I'm like, I'm nowhere near, I'm not as pretty. I'm not, I have a nice voice, but I'm not as pretty.
Really?
Oh, no,
Oh,
you're
oh,
handsome.
You're handsome,
why, thank you. I appreciate
Mr. Vice President.
it. Thank you, sir. Okay. If no other, because we lost John, and I didn't see any other emails come through. All right. So, well, once again, and thank you so much for joining us as well. Thank you, everybody, for joining
Thank
us.
you. Thank you.
Because I know it's a little, the time difference and everything's a little challenging, but I really appreciate you guys. We all appreciate you all for taking the time to not only do this great presentation and this Q&A session, but also just to share your creative journey. And as Matt mentioned, as Eda mentioned, a writer has to write. Hey guys, we all got to create. Like I said, when you read some of these stories, it will hopefully empower you, like it did, definitely motivated and inspired me to just keep pursuing your adventures. And hopefully we get to see all the works of our members. Matt has been a longtime member. We finally get an opportunity to meet him, some of us in person, some of us online. Hopefully we get to all meet him in person again, and he will share his other works going forward. Matt, any closing words that you would like to share to leave us with?
Thank you very much. I would love to thank you to IPCC members, for the readers, for members, especially for Wayne and you, Ehren. You inspired me a lot. And don't forget, we promise each other, and hopefully Ehren is going to finish his first book
Gratefully so.
soon.
Oh, good humankind that is
And you're so good humankind, and it inspires me a lot. And hopefully we will apply to Pan America together
In America together.
as a member.
So for those, and I don't like to close out the group, but for those who don't know, Pen America is one of the biggest, if not, well, they're probably the biggest organization specifically for writers in America, and they have chapters all over the world. So Matt is published here. Matt is published here, and Matt's not even from America. I'm chasing Matt now to be published in America, but he is definitely an inspiration on that. So we pledged that we would join at the same time. So and I have to be published to do so. So I'm working on that now. Thanks, Matt. No pressure. But with that, guys. So once we get this presentation set up, like I said, we're working on the new site. The new site will be published, as mentioned in the last luncheon. The new site will be published at the end of March. So we will have a space specifically for the presentations. We will start to share them out to our YouTube channel as well. But we want to make sure the members and those of our friends and colleagues get to see it first, specifically on our website. I'm going to make sure that the follow-up email that we send out after the presentation on Monday will have the links not only to Vankai Tales on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but for our members who are abroad, we will make sure we send out the links to wherever they can purchase them. Also, check out Goodreads. I suggest you guys check out Goodreads. If you're an avid reader, anything, technical book or fiction, nonfiction, whatever it is, they have reviews and they have great communities for readers and for authors. So, it's a great site to join. And I'll share the link of Vankai Tales on Goodreads as well. But besides that, thank you so much to Matt. Thank you so much to his family. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us for another great presentation. This, I think, was probably one of my favorites by far, just from learning so much about Turkey, but also learning about Matt's journey. And I will close out with this. Wayne brought up a really good point. Everybody here is traveling. Everybody here is working on something. Please share. That's how we found out about Matt. I mean, Matt is doing all this great work for years, and now we finally get the chance to partake in it. If you guys are building something, if you're creating something, if you have a presentation that doesn't have to do with IPCC, please share so we can at least, encourage and support you. Because we have some young members now who've joined. We have 2 more members who joined this past month since our last presentation. One is from I'm sorry, I did not know the university. I'm so sorry, but another is from one of these universities around here in the journalist program, but we also have a member who joined from the Chicago Tribune. So we're having members who are joining from press, and we want to make sure that not only we share what we're doing, but we can share, they can share what they're working on and encourage them. So this is a great example. And if you have anything, please send it to me, send it to Wayne. We'll get it in the newsletter, whatever you feel comfortable with sharing. But it'd be great to know what you're working on and to share that with the group.
Absolutely.
So with that, everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So with that, everyone, thank you so much once again. Have a great rest of your weekend. Best to you and your loved ones. Yeah, Matt, go ahead.
And especially, I would love to thank, to Wayne, Mr. Wayne Toberman, my beloved teacher, who in addition to being a great intellectual, thinker, and writer, with his sharp wit, knowledge, communication skills, and the sense of humor, easily explores the inner worlds of his students and offers them courage and guidance to navigate hardship and move on with their lives. I will forever carry him in my heart. Thank you very much for all your supports. As a
little brother, you have
Big
been,
brother.
you are, and you will
Thank
always
you.
be my little brother.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure, and I'm speechless. Thank you
That's
very
beautiful.
much, man.
That was beautiful. See, that's why he's an author, man. We got
He's good. He's good.
He's good. That's the way to close the show. All right, I can't
Great
follow.
job, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Fantastic show.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Ehren.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Ehren, especially.
Thank you, Ehren.
For
You
your moderation.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, neighbor.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.